what's that saying, or what's like the belief, like, we have to live every day like the last.
That's most ridiculous.
That's ridiculous, because there's going to be a tomorrow, and then when your bank account is zero because you were champagne daddying in the club or whatever, or trip across the world, rent's going to come due. So like, you have to live one step in the reality.
But I don't think
one
that's
step
a
in
bad
the future.
thing. I mean, like, I've worked enough funerals to know that if you make it through an entire year without like one horrible thing sticking out from the year,
Then it's not a bad life.
that's not a bad thing.
And I keep saying it over and over. I don't think it's good or healthy.
To work from home.
No. And it obviously it's easier, right? Because you don't have to get up like earlier to set up and then drive down to an hour.
I mean, it has a ton of benefits.
Ton of benefits, but I think in the long run it doesn't.
I mean, I think the economy is just terrible for small business. And I kind of get it, because it's expensive to run a small business.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to charge high prices, whether that's for clothing or whatever, or if we're talking about a restaurant. So it's more expensive than the chains. So then people can't afford to come there. I would just say, take the year day by day, and don't be discouraged if it's not the year that has all kinds of big life moments, because you'll be surprised that life is more made up of all the little small moments.
Episode 4 with this big guy.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
guess
5.
so.
5.
And we're coming to you live from the spot where we watched Twilight for the first time.
let's not revive that moment.
I'm just throwing one up for the fans. Remember?
Welcome to 2024.
Ah!
What was your? Why don't we start with what is your overall take of 2023?
I feel like 2023 went by really, really fast.
Right.
Because it was just like non-stop working. I mean, I took summer classes, which meant that I was in school like the entire calendar year. I didn't have a break, plus working, of course. So I feel like it went by really quickly, and it was one of those years that kind of reminded me, like, if you're not paying attention, life is gonna like go by you so fast. Because like if you're busy, like when you're busy, every day is like
Right.
goes by so quickly, and then all of a sudden it's a month, 12 months, a year, 5 years, whatever. So I feel like it went really by quickly for us, and I don't know if we savored it. Do you feel like that? Because we didn't have like the year before we got married.
Yeah.
And that was like, I feel I really savored those moments.
There wasn't big enough events to bookmark the year at different
Maybe.
spots. Is that what you mean?
Maybe.
Right off the bat, you're gonna go deep, eh?
Well, you
Our life
asked.
is
What do you want me to
flying
say?
away.
What do you want me to say?
Okay. No, let's do it. Yeah, I mean, sadly, I think that's most of my life has been like that. Or maybe that's everybody's life. Like, you only remember like little bits and pieces that were like big, you know? And usually what I remember most is moving.
You moved a lot.
So I moved a lot. So like, I think that I remember memories by the location where I was.
Mm-hmm.
Or
And
like,
you even that's how you start any type of recalling a memory is about the place.
where was I? Oh, I was here.
No, you always just start like, remember when we were like, if you're talking with your mom, it's like, remember when we were in Brussels? Remember when we were in Petrolia? Remember when we were, and then there's the example.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that my memory is based on, where was I on that location? I'm like a gypsy.
This guy's trying so hard to be a gypsy because we watched Peaky Blinders.
I identify, in the moment, I identify myself and my personality as in the show that I'm watching.
Yeah.
And damn, courtesy of the fucking Peaky Blinders.
Yeah, this guy's a 1920s gypsy.
Peaky Blinder.
So what was your takeaway from the year?
I don't know. I think 2023 went by so fast. I don't think there was anything huge that defined it. It makes it a little sadder, right? Because another year gone by, and do you remember it? Did you enjoy it? Like the equation starts like balancing. Did you live your life to the fullest? I mean, you can't, because you can't live every. What's that saying, or what's like the belief, like, we have to live every day like the last.
That's most ridiculous.
That's ridiculous, because there's going to be a tomorrow, and then when your bank account is zero because you were champagne daddying in the club or whatever, or trip across the world, rent's going to come due. So like, you have to live one step in the reality.
But I don't think that's a bad
future.
thing. I mean, like, I've worked enough funerals to know that if you make it through an entire year without like one horrible thing sticking out from the year,
then it's not a bad life.
That's not a bad thing. Like,
Yeah.
to me, like, I think there is a point where it's like, yeah, we didn't maybe reflect enough this year, like take it slowly to really savor some moments. But at the same time, I'm grateful to have gotten through a year where like tragedy didn't strike in our lives, because we've had other years where tragedy did strike. So, I mean, I don't necessarily view that as like a bad thing, that the whole year kind of blends together, because I'm grateful that we got to just live into our jobs and our school and our house and our relationship without like like the meteor falling.
Trauma. Because back in the day,
So I don't know.
aka anything past like the 1930s, your whole life was working and surviving. Why are we now programmed to think like every year has to be like this New Year's fireworks and like traveling the world, and like you were okay if one of your children didn't die of consumption. Piggy blind. You know, or your Aunt Polly died from
Stop it!
from a turf
Spoiler
war.
Spoiler alert.
So
Yeah, that's what
having
I'm saying. I'm
an
not that mad
ordinary,
about
regular, you know, stable life is not that bad.
it. I'm not that mad.
Not that bad.
It's just something like if I'm thinking about the year, I'm like, oh man, it went by so quick and it was pretty monotonous.
What is a life but a life lived well? And what is well? Like, you know, you had time with your family, you learned, you helped people, and there is no one thing like a movie. There's no cliffhangers. You're gonna die.
Right.
I mean, you know, because I'm thinking the only problem that we have is when we start reflecting, like, oh, in a little, you know, X amount of years that I've been alive, what have I done, or what's been the big thing? And,
But we're always obsessed with where we are, and I think we don't give enough credit to how far we've come. So.
What's the J Peeps?
What?
Jordan Peterson?
I'm sure he would love to be called JP.
Dr. J Peeps. Compare to yourself with who you were yesterday, not somebody else. Right? What is your what do you have goals for this year?
I'm just trying to survive this year. It's like we have a lot going on, and I'm just trying to really, like, this year's gonna be the opposite of 2023. Just
Where
like
it's all gonna be a lot of
non-stop,
change.
life-changing moments and milestone moments. And so I'm trying to enjoy that and not let it be an overwhelming experience. Let it be a joyful experience. And yeah, really savor those big moments.
What are you most excited about this year?
There's just too much. Like, I find I'm overwhelmed by
Not
the
work?
excitement. Yeah, I'm excited to like close my current chapter of work. I'm excited to graduate. I've been working like 8 years at school, no graduation, thanks to the pandemic. So, but even besides that, I've been working 4 years on my master's degree. So I'm really excited to be done it. And yeah, I'm just ready to kind of close chapters and open ones.
What's been something interesting you've learned?
I haven't been learning that much interesting stuff because it's been Christmas. So I've kind of turned off my brain recently.
Do you feel
I'm just
coming back to your
rewired.
Going back to your family home? I think this year, out of any of the past years that we've gone back to Christmas to spend some time with your family, where like you are the most adult, you know, like the most. There's been so much time separated since you moved out of your parents' home. We've been married a while. You know, there's so many things. Like you're gonna be a mom soon. Like, what did it feel like going back? Did it pull you back to feel like a teenage girl with Harry Potter's on your posters all over your wall? Like, what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you do get that like reverting experience. Like I find I'm less patient and stuff like that when I'm inside my childhood home.
Like you're a teenage girl.
Yeah, a little bit.
Screaming about, Mom, why did you wash my?
That.
Why did you move my laundry?
I don't do that
anymore.
We were all teenage girls once.
Well, not all of us, but in our hearts.
Yeah, but yeah, so like I have to fight that sensation kind of a little bit.
Falling
Especially
back
when
into
I'm home with all my siblings.
Yeah.
There's like a bit of like vying for mom's attention, I think, that comes naturally. And stuff like that. But I think more just enjoy it. I like enjoy the time more. I'm more appreciative of it maybe than I was when I was there all the time. And And I'm just happy to kind of like take a break from our lives.
Yeah.
It's very relaxing, I find.
Right. Yes, because it felt incredible to just like step out,
Yeah.
like just step out and kind of forget everything. But it's definitely not healthy. And
I think it's healthy a little bit.
to chase
for a
that
couple
feeling.
days. Oh yeah,
I was gonna say.
But when it comes naturally, when like you have that reprieve of like vacation kind of, I think that's normal and healthy.
And it helps you think. I think it's good to step away and see, and maybe not think about stuff for a couple days and then come back into it, or what's it called? The whole hiring a consultant is good because sometimes they can see something from outside and give you solutions that you weren't thinking because you're so deep into the problem.
To become your own consultant?
Yeah. You can. I mean, if you're good at either writing or thinking and playing out, scenarios in your mind, and you can separate yourself from your own emotions and everything, I mean, that's what you do. That is thinking, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think you do have to, especially like you mostly work from home. So I think you need that, especially to get out of the environment where we live and work.
It's not good. I'm coming down to the realization, like I've already had it for and I keep saying it over and over. I don't think it's good or healthy
to work from home.
No, and it obviously it's easier, right? Because you don't have to get up like earlier to set up and then drive down to an hour.
I mean, it has a ton of benefits.
Ton of benefits, but I think in the long run, it doesn't.
I agree, but I also think you don't commute.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the physical stress that it
like some people can do work if you work from a computer, but like if you're a realtor, like you're gonna have to drive, or you're like a bus driver. It's not like you can work from home.
If you live in the GTA, you have to commute anywhere unless you work from home. Like it's always gonna be at least 25, 30 minutes. There's no.
I mean, if you're in the same city, if you want to go to like from Oakville to Toronto, you're gonna drive at 40 minutes.
I mean, you know me, I'm driving over an hour and a half each way.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, when we lived in North Bay, and I could drive to work, it was 10 minutes to work.
That wasn't 10 minutes to the hospital, was it?
It's a small town, man. Yeah. And I was.
If a train was rolling through, and you were stuck there in the middle of town, just sitting there for like an hour sometimes.
Yeah, not.
How long are those? How long are those trains?
Not common. They're long, but you usually get stuck on a train. No, it was very fast, like 10 minutes, like 15 at the most. And like, man, I can't even imagine that anymore.
Just being able to go back. You could take your lunch.
So fast.
If you wanted to, if you have an hour to lunch, you can drive home. And could you imagine doing that and here at home?
Or even I was thinking the other day, like even just leaving to go, like to get in your car at lunch to go find food.
Right. Oh, right.
Because like you don't
do people
that in
do
the
that
city.
Really? No.
Not in the city. I mean,
you
don't get stuck
walk.
in traffic. Yeah, you have to walk.
You have to be like a small radius that you can get there and come back with your food.
Because I was thinking today, like I always eat at the same like 2/3
what else you got?
food places.
Yeah, you're not gonna take the subway too.
But I'm like, even because they're right by my office. But otherwise, like I'm gonna walk for 10 minutes each way to get something to eat. Like, no, that's craziness. Nobody's got the time for that. Yeah. So, like
people are saying like Uber Eats.
With this guy, you'd be like, you spent $100 on a Big Mac combo because of your Uber Eats. Whoever says Uber Eats is single. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a single.
Because they don't have a spouse who's like also seeing what they spend and shaming them for it. Yeah.
That makes me think from those videos that we watched a while ago with this architect talking about how people used to live before the modernist crazies kind of took over the world. It was like, you live in these areas and work is walkable. Groceries and shops are walkable, and the city's shaped in a way that anything is walkable and enjoyable, and you have a fountain or some sort of church or park in the middle, and it's just easier to commute and actually enjoy because
it's so much more enjoyable, even if it's drivable. Like the reason I like Oakville is because it's drivable.
Right. Right.
Like you can get in your car and you won't like want to cry driving to the grocery store or to get like to go to a restaurant or to go somewhere on the weekend, like to the movies or whatever. But like near Yonge and Eglinton where I work, like you're not getting in the car
No.
to go to the grocery store.
Those
I literally
areas.
cried that time I had to go to the Loblaws on Yonge Street and get cupcakes because I had to park like 2 streets away and had to carry like 300 cupcakes down the street.
Okay. That just shows a picture into your own mental stability, but okay. Those areas of Toronto, even though they're nice,
they're beautiful
what is
areas.
House? What is nice? They're like expensive homes. What does that mean? Nothing, right? Because the shittiest house can be expensive now. But those areas of like,
they are nice communities.
some homes and literally the busy streets and the shops that you just kind of pull in, and it makes me remember of Mexico, bad areas of Mexico. Like it's not nice. It's not, if you live there, you're not, I don't know if you just get used to it and you're like, yeah, it's okay. But like what, you're gonna go for a walk with your dog, like, well, some guys like trying to turn and braking and like the sounds of cars rushing it's not built right. It's disappointing, and I feel like nobody takes responsibility on planning growth of the cities, of where people are going to live and how it's going to go and how it's going to be, so it's enjoyable to the people. And it's starting to look in some areas more and more like a third world country.
I can see that. The original point that you were making was that you don't feel like work from home is good. But what I'm saying is that I don't think working outside the home is doable.
Right. There's always a pros and cons to absolutely anything you do. But I guess for me, if I'm speaking for myself, I can see more and more where like I need the separation, even to be more productive.
It would help if you had an office with a door.
Yeah.
Because we have an open office in our house. So it's like on an open floor. So it's connected to other living spaces, areas of our living space. That's difficult. Because like at the house in North Bay, you didn't feel that way because there was an office where we closed the door. We didn't hang out in the office ever.
No, I think it was a tiny house. Like right in that time, I was just starting out, so I had this excitement of like powering through anything. And the more less single I am, let's say like that, the more like I could live up just about anything, anywhere, and put up with kind of any crazy situation if I had a goal and I'm working towards it. But the more that I'm becoming settled and married and kids, like I'm starting to have that need of like, oh no, you need to separate these. Like my mind is not one track anymore. It's multiple, and I need separation. It's too much chaos. I need to segment myself, and like, this is home, and this space is used for this. This is the mental space that I need to utilize right now. And then when I'm in this space, I am thinking about work. Like I feel like, yes, that when I was living there, I was just a single guy. Yes, we were dating, but
we were dating.
No, but like, like the mentality is not like I'm building a family or anything. I'm working. I'm doing anything and everything I can to start this business, and that's everything. Like if I come home at 1 a.m. because I was like 3 hours away in Sudbury and then driving back from a client, like it didn't matter, But like I can't do that now. Really? No, like, you know what I mean? So I think
you have other considerations.
I have other considerations, and it's starting to become almost a necessity to segment parts of my life, because I don't think I want to be, you work all the time, or you don't stay home, or you're not with your family all the time. Like you don't know how to separate those. And the people that say they can, like, you're probably a psychopath, like a sociopath, like that you can segment that perfectly. You just can't.
No, it's difficult. There's too many distractions.
Yeah. I would love to try living in a small town that's a little bit better structured, but I mean, that's a dream, right? That's an illusion.
I think they're hard to find.
They're hard to find because usually they're small towns because they have no industry.
Because they have no industry, nobody wants to live there.
Nobody's making money there, so it stays small.
I would like to be back in a place where it takes 10 minutes to get anywhere. I do miss that a lot.
Not even North Bay. That's not the point. That's not real anymore. North Bay as well.
You can
at
get
some
10
times of the
minutes anyways.
at some times in the day.
Like my parents live on opposite sides of the city and it takes about 10 minutes.
The GPS said 16.
Okay. By 10 minutes, I mean less than 20.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's kind of like when I ask you what time it is and you say 1:30 and it's 1:47.
Okay.
But you know what I mean? Like 16 minutes,
No,
you get in
yeah.
the car, you look at, like with my Toronto mentality, I'm like 16 minutes, I'm there.
Yeah. 38 minutes, it's 10 minutes. That's Toronto mentality.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this morning I got in the GPS and there wasn't any traffic because all the kids are still in school. The GPS said 48 minutes. I was like so excited. I was like, there's no traffic. I'm there. Like
Yeah.
it was like, it felt like nothing.
Yeah.
And when I got there, I was like, it still took me like almost an hour to get here. Why am I so excited? Like I still spent 2 hours driving today and there was no traffic.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy.
Obviously, everything comes down to finances and like how you are financially and with your family and all. But picking where you live, and it is close to home, close to work, and it is, like close to park, and it's close to amenities, and it's calm. It's not too much crazy traffic. It's very important.
I like Ontario because you're always close to like a nice lake.
Yeah.
That's important to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think because even if you're in the city and stuff like that, like once you get to the lake, even if you're like even in Toronto, like the waterfront, it still feels like relaxing.
I mean, you can face one way and just
But that
look
might
at water.
just be because I grew up on the lake, so maybe
Right.
that.
It's
but-
familiar to you.
But yeah.
Because North Bay has 2 lakes, right? Nipson
Oh yeah, and Trout Lake, I guess.
and Trout Lake.
Yeah.
But it's a small little tiny thing. Trout,
But it's still nice.
right? No, I'm asking. I don't know.
I don't know what quantifies a big lake from a small lake, to be honest.
Ontario Lake is,
Well, obviously, like the Great Lakes are huge.
yeah.
Yeah, but they're big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're standing on the beach, you can't see the other side.
Exactly. That's what I'm
It's a
saying.
big
You can turn your
lake.
back towards the traffic,
Yeah,
and you don't see
that's
anything.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not sandwiched between.
And normally towns do a pretty good job of like, even if they don't keep up all the parks and stuff like that, they keep up the waterfronts.
Mm-hmm. Because that's their
So-
moneymaker, man. That's what you Google you search for any kind of town. The first thing is
Water.
the waterfront.
So to me, like at least it offers a little escape.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would want to be in a place where there's no water.
I grew up in, Petrolia, which was like my high school. Didn't have any water. Yes, you have Lake Huron, I think it is, by Sarnia. But I mean, that's like 20-minute
No,
drive.
it's
It's
long.
you don't live there.
No, yeah.
You have a little creek that runs through, but that's it. And then Brussels, nothing. There's no water. Obviously, there's a little creek, a little river or
And
something.
I went to Petrolia.
Did you?
Yeah, I went to Petrolia. Remember?
When did you go
Twice.
to Petrolia? Well, twice?
Yeah, we went as a family and we went again when we went to that barbecue.
I don't remember.
You're joking, right?
Oh, Petrolia. I was here in Brussels for some reason. I'm like, when did you go to Brussels? Yeah, Petrolia. It's not.
Like you said, the little moments, they pass him by. They're not memorable for him.
Maybe you have an early onset.
Like 2 of my favorite memories.
Yeah.
This guy's like, you went there?
No, when we shot the testimonial video
Yes.
for my mom for University. Yeah. It's nice.
It's nice. There's
It's
nothing
like-
wrong with it.
okay.
I'm just saying it would, imagine
Water
there was
would
a lake.
spruce it up real good.
Imagine there was a lake.
Water would spruce that place up real good.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, we are lucky that we have all these Great Lakes.
Mm-hmm.
Does Innisville, is that what it's called? Innisville or Innisfeel?
Innisfil, yeah, is where the en route is.
Yeah. That en route stop, does have a lake?
I have no idea.
I think so, right?
I mean, Barrie has like lots of water, and Innisfil's not that far from Barrie, so it's. I don't really know though. I don't know what qualifies as Innisfil.
Okay. So I was thinking like a little bit more north, around Barrie. They have a
They
lake.
have a ton of water. Those are beautiful places. I think that's where we'll end up.
I don't know. I think a lot of people would talk trash about it, so like my mind is
But
already.
they're talking trash about like downtown Barrie.
Yeah, but that sucks. Why does every downtown have to be sucky?
It's always gonna suck. But there is a Mandarin there.
You had me at the Mandarin. Something that you do see in a lot of small towns, and let's categorize small towns. Anything on what's North Bay, like 40?
54,000, I think.
Anything under 100,000 people is kind of small town, right?
I think Then you have everybody in the comments. I grew up in a town with 100 people. It's like, we're not talking.
That's not a
about
small
you,
town.
Jared.
That's your family and
Yeah.
your farm of pigs.
I think anything less than 70 or 80 is probably
Small town.
small town.
Yeah. A lot of them have a bad or dying or not super flourishing downtown.
Yeah.
What do you think? Why do you think that is?
It's just economical. I think like because normally downtowns try to be like small business type places because you want it to be like a street with like smaller storefronts, right? And box stores are never going to go into a small storefront. So
the downtown, if we want to think about it, it used to be where everything was at. You know,
yeah,
like
the general
the hardware store,
and the bar,
the grocery store.
Yeah,
like you went there to get
picture
all
Gilmore
your supplies.
Girls.
Gilmore Girls, or picture like an old Western where it's like it's this the saloon.
So I think now they try to keep that idea alive with like a town, like a downtown or like a main street where there's like small shops still and stuff like that, and you can find anything, and there's a restaurant and stuff. But all those things are small businesses, and I mean, I think the economy is just terrible for small business, and I kind of get it because like it's so expensive. Like it's expensive to run a small business, so you have to charge high prices, whether that's for clothing or whatever, or if we're talking about a restaurant. So it's more expensive than the chains, so then people can't afford to come there.
Right.
So nobody goes down there. And the other thing is like to run and operate a small business, like the hours are always weird. Like I know in North Bay, part of the problem is like you have to be there like from 10 to 6 on a weekday.
You have to be open to sell. You know, like you have to be open. Yeah, because I remember one time in the because I was following like the North Bay Facebook group or something, right? And there was a small restaurant. I won't say the name, but they were saying like, "Oh, we're going out of business," blah, blah, blah. And people were like, "I've never heard of you. Like, I'd love to go see. Like, your pictures look good. Like, what time do you open?" "Oh, I open 8 p.m. till like 8:15, and then on Saturdays."
But what are people supposed to do? Because they can't hire staff.
You can't be paying somebody, what's minimum wage now? $16 an hour.
And like you
to
can't
see if someone
stay
shows
open.
up, right?
So it's that's what I'm saying. That's just a loop of defeat because people can't go to you because you're too expensive and you're unavailable. But
you can't be open
because
nobody shows up.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and because it's like
the horse before the cart.
Yeah.
I think that's the expression.
Doesn't sound right, but I think it is. That might be. I don't know. Something about it's weird.
Yeah.
No, the horse always comes before the cart because it drags the cart. So it'll be the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People got it. People got it. It is nice to go downtown because that's where you go to, because you want to go out, right, on weekends and not just stay home all the time. And what do? Either go to the movies, like us, this guys.
I don't think people go to the movies except us.
Really? There's always somebody.
Any other adult that I know, I ask them like, when's the last time you went to the movies? Oh, it's been years.
Really?
Nobody goes to the movies. It's just us.
How many times do you think we've gone to the movies? 2023.
You know what this stupid episode should have been? Should have done a year review of movies.
Yeah, but we don't know how many. We don't even know which movies we've seen.
We saw at least 40 because at Thanksgiving we had seen 25.
Okay. So you think we've gone to the movies 40 times?
40 sounds like a lot.
It sounds like a lot.
Definitely 30, 100% we've seen 30.
But I mean, the credit card receipts are adding up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And since we discovered going VIP,
let's just say our trajectory was we were going to a local movie
first, we
theater
were going to the local
for like very
Oakville.
cheap tickets.
Cheap considerably because he doubled his prices in COVID, but okay.
It was cheap considering. And then we upgraded to Cineplex.
We went to Cineplex and we're like,
seats. Regular seating.
And
we're like, wow, the price isn't that much.
It's like $3 difference.
This guy's got me dropping $200 at VIP every Saturday night now.
Come on, can you go back where your seats aren't
I don't know.
heated?
I know most of you probably haven't been, but your seats are heated. They're recliners. They bring you a drink. They bring you a burger. They bring you popcorn in a fancier thing. Ugh, luxury.
We can't, like, we've been stepping over when we went to the AVX or whatever, and they're slightly recliner. We're like,
so we didn't go right from regular to VIP. We went to AVX. We went to see a Tom Cruise movie in IMAX, which was a waste of money.
Yeah.
And then Then eventually, well, for Alex's birthday, I'm like, let's go to VIP. Like, it'll be a little
But like,
gift.
you feel like, go to a VIP to a regular movie that's not gonna be good. You feel like kind of like a jackass. It's like, I'm not gonna enjoy it.
Know.
You kind of know.
I guess.
And so we went
But we've gone to some crappy ones.
Yeah.
Or some we thought were really good and then they're disappointments.
Like which one?
Can't think of an example.
Okay, so you're just straw man here. It was, which one was it?
We saw Napoleon.
Napoleon on VIP. And then we saw Aquaman on VIP. And it was good.
Really good.
It was really good. I feel like the screens are
smaller. Was the movie good or was the experience good?
I think like the screens are smaller in a VIP.
A little
but I
bit.
don't care.
I don't care because, yeah, you don't have a backache.
When we were watching Aquaman, the very first time this ever happened to me in a movie theater, I almost fell asleep. I felt like almost like too relaxed. Like,
it's that big dad energy.
I'm kind of like. I could fall asleep.
Yeah. I mean,
I went like
the recliners, the heat, everything is. I mean, it's a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't want to spend $25 to fall asleep.
No, you don't.
It is pricey.
It's pricey.
Do not take our financial advice.
Yeah, we're not financial advice planners. I'm saying too much.
We got a guy for that.
We got a guy to cut out all the ums. I remember when I did my first or second or third podcast in North Bay, 2019, and I had like my first awesome guest. What was his name? Rob.
Oh, the welder guy?
Yeah. City Welding.
I mean, I couldn't possibly know his name.
Rob, if you're out there. Miss you, man. And I was saying, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Jesus.
You were saying Jesus?
Like, that was my and
I've never heard you use that.
Yeah, in that podcast, I don't know why, but in that time, I was just saying like, oh, geez, that's crazy. Like,
it's like somebody paid you to say Jesus.
Yeah. And I remember.
Then you run off with a minister and you stop using the Lord's name in vain.
I remember somebody telling me, oh, fantastic podcast. I listened to it in the car the whole way. It was great. You were saying Jesus so many times that it started throwing me off. So you have to be careful when you're in a podcast and you're doing like one thing that a lot of people do, and I freaking hate it because Gary Vee does it too, and I want to grab him.
Start complaining about Gary Vee.
No,
I have
hold
a few
on.
things to say.
You'll have your time. Is that he's always you over ask the question. So like I have a question. What would you do if you find yourself in a scenario where someone, bumps you in the street? Oh, but like, the street was super busy, and sometimes when you're walking, you're just like, you're out of your mind, you're not really thinking, and you could have bumped them, but maybe he didn't really mean it. And then, like you're going somewhere, so maybe you're busy, and like they keep going and going and going and going. They don't shut up and don't let the person answer the question, and then you interrupt. You don't actually you narrate, like tell me something. What would you do if someone bumped you in the street?
Yeah, what would you do if your wife cut off your credit card because you went to too many Cineplex VIPs?
Answer the question. Don't ask me the question.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to answer that question?
Yeah.
Well, I would probably just get a secret credit card because I definitely can't stop going
that's
to VIP.
Nuts, man. Yeah. I went through something very similar. Like you cut them off. But usually when you're in a podcast and you're doing a show, like, you want to ask your question. If it's yours, you don't want to. I feel like you can be selfish because you want to be the star of it, like you want to say the cool shit, like you want to tell your stories, and there's time for that. But if you're gonna ask a question to a guest, you ask them and you ask the question, what would you do if your husband found out that you're going to VIPs without him and racking up a big credit card bill?
Yeah, it's just basic communication skills, but you'd be surprised how many people lack them.
Yeah, you listen. You just listen until they're done. Mm-hmm. Because if you want a good show, you invited that person to talk and share their experience. And when they're done talking, go for it. You go on your monologue. But
I think we're so deprived of human connection and genuine conversation that whenever we get the chance to talk with somebody, we can't stop talking because there's so much we want to say.
Or you're a narcissist.
My answer had a little more compassion. Could be A or B.
You can be an A or B.
No.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
That's not what I said.
Would you ever live in a houseboat?
What?
I was thinking about the living on the lakes, like, you know,
No,
your
are you
town being a
nuts?
lake. I guess, yeah, they freeze it, but now that we have winters
live
like
in
this where it
Ontario.
doesn't even snow on Christmas, you could live on a
No,
houseboat.
I don't think you want to live on a houseboat. To get a like
Does it? I
running
guess it
water,
freezes and it pops you right
electricity,
out, right?
Just it's impractical.
Think of
Like you can get those,
Yeah.
you can get those things on a houseboat, but it's not convenient.
You can live on a houseboat on wheels, I guess, aka a trailer park.
Would I ever live in a trailer park? Yes. I'm thinking about it.
Why? Just for the
Are you
experience?
kidding? In this economy, like you can get some sick trailers and like you just get the property super cheap, and you have like a nice heated trailer. And
You don't. No one's asking you to
live
do
in
it.
that for a couple of years. No, it's a choice. You live in that for a few years, you save a ton of money.
Like we're not. We don't need to. You know. Like we.
No, it would be a choice.
Okay.
Like I'm not saying what I would like if there was a gun to my head. Like no, I'm pointing the gun at you. Get me a trailer. Like I want one. I don't know. Like you see the people online like who live in like pretty nice trailers.
Those tiny homes. Even if those tiny.
No, the tiny homes give.
It has to be a trailer. Yeah.
It has to be a trailer.
If it doesn't have wheels, get that
Because
far.
the thing is, you can get the trailer going, like move it.
Get
too.
the motor running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's, like, I don't know. I'm not opposed to living in a trailer park.
I think you're kind of going towards
I'm romanticizing it.
living like a gypsy in a caravan, being able to move.
Sure, but like in Peaky, like those are like really small caravans.
No, they're like literally pulled by one horse, so they have to be small. But
You don't
that
want
one
that cart
final
before
one,
that horse.
that final one where they have that video that I was telling you that I saw of this guy that's driving towards the Arctic
Yeah.
and like -30 above.
I don't want to live in a truck with a caravan thing on the back. Whoa. I'm talking
Did
about.
I finish my sentence?
No, but I know where you're going. I know where you're going. I'm talking about like a $500,000 trailer. Interesting? Meet you there?
But anyway, going back to what I was saying, yeah, this guy had like an old F-350 pickup, and in the back had almost like a gypsy caravan with like wooden. I love saying gypsy. It's my new
It's
thing.
offensive.
I don't think if you're a gypsy, you love being gypsy, but if you are a person that gets offended, you won't like it.
Okay.
It's kind of like a
Go ahead.
yin and yang, horse before the cart.
Right.
It had a beautiful, like almost like a wooden cabin
Yeah.
in the truck, in the bed,
a
and
song.
with a door, and inside like a little wood furnace, bed carved wood, and
Alex, you're 6'4" and we have a daughter.
you just made it more appealing. You want her to see the world?
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that guy's probably pretty short, the Arctic guy.
He looks tall, but he did crouch a lot.
You already get neck fame.
Huh?
You already get neck fame.
Yeah.
Imagine sleeping in that thing all the time.
Yeah.
But not in my trailer. There's a king bed in my trailer.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. What do they call it? A California king?
California King, baby.
You're welcome to come on Saturdays.
Why just Saturdays?
Oh, if you're free other days as well. Why? You're interested in a houseboat?
No, but they look pretty.
I mean, we live on a yacht.
I mean, I can afford it. I live in a yacht. Because I follow a lot of those weird tiny home type of things, and they're so creative. And I saw one. What?
They are creative, but for some reason they give me the ick.
I saw
They
one.
look like doghouse.
Like they. I mean, some of them are, but they make them so appealing,
Yeah.
and everything has its place. Maybe I'm just internalizing the chaos in our room
Yeah.
and in our house.
You just want to throw out all the stuff we have.
Yeah.
You want to be more minimalist. No, but I
By
think
choice, not by
not by
the
necessity.
overlords telling us you own nothing.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
I lost my train of thought. Give me a minute, I'll get it. Oh, I'm interested in sailing though. In like spending a summer or the rest of our summers. Up to you.
Every single summer in a sailboat?
Yeah.
Like a big one with like a
Yes.
a little
Because in a lot of my fantasy books, they go by sailboat. You know.
To where?
Wherever they're going, the opposite kingdom, obviously, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, I've romanticized in my head like the sailboat life, and like you live in the bottom of the boat. I don't actually, I've never been on a sailboat, so I'm not really sure how it works. I'm pretty sure like you can live like in the cabin, right, under the boat.
Yeah.
And then
if it's big enough, I guess.
If we, like, obviously we would have to like do this in France, obviously.
In France.
Yeah, probably France is best.
The economy in France is terrible.
Doesn't matter where we're on international seas. I'm just saying you can port in France.
Okay, we'll port in France.
Yeah.
For the supplies.
For supplies, but probably don't need much.
No. I mean, we don't have that much storage.
But we will stop for bread.
Fresh baked bread.
And fromage.
From what's that?
It's French cheese.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Queso.
Aren't you interested in sailing? Because like I have a close friend and her family's really into sailing. And when she talks about sailing, she just lights up. And she's just like, they love sleeping on the boat. They love like, I don't know, and her kids are like super into sailing. Like, I don't know, it seems really
they're
cool.
not.
What?
Your kids are into it?
Yeah, they're like, yeah.
I don't know, anything.
Like, what do you want to see?
Here you go, let me paint a picture of you. You are far away from shore, you can't see it, but the beautiful seas. Like beautiful open blue water, fish. It's dark, you don't see anything.
I mean, you're
starts
terrified, but I'm having a
rocking.
good time.
You look out into the sea and you don't see anything, no light.
Well, you don't go that far out.
You're like in nothing.
Hey, I'm talking about leisure sailing.
Yeah. Even if in like Lake Ontario, you can probably do that. Well, you can see the other side by Niagara Falls and stuff.
But
like,
I think if there's other boats out there.
Now imagine slipping and falling into that dark, dark water.
Never mind.
What happens when...
I will stay on land and go to the aquarium.
What happens in your fantasy books when they fall in the middle of the dark in the water?
Some handsome man catches some. Duh.
I saw, you know that link that I showed you of Haith? His house that he wanted to buy, or that he could buy, and it was like 100-something thousand in, what's that small town, the army-based town in Northern Ontario? Parawawa? Parawawa?
I think that's a slur. Parawawa? No, that's a slur for sure. Petawawa.
Petawawa?
But that's not where he's moving.
No, not anymore, but that's where the house was.
Yeah.
And it was a little tiny home, like trailer house.
Yeah.
Trailer.
And it was awesome.
Well, I mean, it was very narrow. That's what it was.
I know, but it was a good start.
Yeah.
And it was $100,000. In this economy?
I mean,
you can't even get a shoebox for $100,000. Literally, the property just doesn't exist anywhere near where we live.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather live in a think about if we had $100,000 mortgage?
I mean, we could pay it lump sum.
We could pay it lump sum and then never pay for housing.
Why don't we get 10 trailer homes?
Glue them together.
Just glue them together.
Like the way you think. Or we start like our own commune, kind of.
Yeah. But it's not as easy as fun as it could be in Utah or something, where like the laws are a little murky. Here, if you're a religion, Canada doesn't really care.
No. We're not inviting other people to the commune. I'm just saying we'll get like several. Instead of like our kids having a room, they have a trailer. It's on the same lot. And it's like, oh yeah, she's in her trailer. And it kind of makes her sound like a mega star as well.
Yeah, that's
so
pretty
I'm
cool.
interested actually.
You know, I am piqued.
Yeah.
Okay. And each trailer is a room. Oh, let's go to the TV trailer.
Yeah. So just like instead of having a living room, like when you leave your room, like in a regular house, you leave your room, you're in the living room.
Yeah.
You leave your room, you're in the grass.
Or the snow.
And you just gotta walk across to the next trailer to go into the next room.
I mean, we'd be in nature
you get a lot more fresh air.
Yeah.
Probably get more steps.
Yeah.
And everybody would have privacy.
What's the craziest thing you would turn one of those trailers into?
Give me a second to think about it. Well, one would definitely be like a prayer room situation, which would be pretty sick. Like a little chapel.
Like a little tiny trailer chapel?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of cool though.
It's kind of cool.
And also a library. Imagine a trailer that's an entire library with a sick leather chair.
Just in the center.
Where's mom? Oh, she's in the library trailer.
So this whole time we're always gonna be like, she's in the TV trailer.
Yeah. How else would you?
Yeah, no, I get it. It makes sense.
It's like, it's pretty clear.
Mine, I think I would turn one of the trailers into a pool. So the second you open...
Now you're making fun of me. I thought you were
No.
base with
I'm
me.
on board, but think about it. The second you open the door, it's all pool.
Structural issues. Buddy, there's a pool in the middle. In because all the trailers are like in a circle facing each other. And then you get out. You walk to the next trailer, whatever. Whatever trailer you're getting to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to direct your day. In the middle
is the pool.
Is the pool and also a fireplace.
In the pool?
Next to the pool.
Okay.
So like we can have a fire, including hot dogs, and the kids room.
I mean, we only eat hot dogs. We live in a trailer park.
No, are you nuts? We have so much money because we live in a trailer park. The Wagyu hot dogs. You can actually picture it, and
I can picture it, and it actually awesome. It sounds awesome. It sounds awesome. But I would still want that secret garden.
Have you ever camped at a trailer park?
One time.
With friends?
No, like when I was little, and like a family friend had a trailer.
Yeah.
You know, like one of those camping trailers.
Because
and they're all stationed.
My grand had a trailer, and it was sick because you go, everybody has their trailer. They're all kind of like facing toward the lake, sort of.
Yeah.
And then at night, everybody comes together for like a fire. These are like summer trailers, obviously. And then there's like a building like nearby that has like an arcade and like a little store.
Yeah, a little
and,
pool
like,
as well.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Next episode, we moved to a trailer park.
Yeah. Any realtor selling trailers? Give us a call. We have a budget of $45.
You're in luck.
But we do have an unchecked lottery ticket.
Oh yeah, we'll do a good old trade.
We could do one of those things where we trade up. Okay, you know what I mean? Like if we started with a paperclip and we made one trade every day, how many days would it take for us to get a trailer? A livable trailer.
Okay.
Not a luxury one, but a trailer we could genuinely camp in.
What does that go about? With the property? Stationed in their property? Or just like we can pick it up and drag it somewhere?
Probably, let's be realistic. We gotta
pick it up and drag it. I think I could trade a PS5 for a trailer.
You could not?
I could, yeah, definitely could.
You'd have to get a PS5 and it's worth more than the trailer.
You said what, like how many times? So like whatever that paperclip has to be traded towards getting a PS5.
Okay, so then I guess your question is like your approach is how long would it take
to get a PS5 to get a
paperclip to a PS5, and then the next day then it's just +1?
Yeah.
Okay, so how long would it take you to get a PS5?
I guess I would work backwards. Like what do I have to trade to get a PS5?
Let me give you my first 10 trades.
Okay.
Or are you going somewhere?
No, go ahead.
Start with a paperclip.
Yeah.
You exchange it for a pen.
Pen? Like a smoking pen or just like a writing pen?
Never heard of a smoking pen, don't want one, not interested.
Okay.
I'm talking about a writing pen.
Okay.
A used pen.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can make that trade, right? Somebody's willing to.
I mean, the ink's down to the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
I take the pen. I trade it for a Bible. People have tons of Bibles. They don't want them. Like, or you can always get a free Bible. So I get a free Bible. I use one of my own pens. I also have my own pens. Okay. Unrelated to the interaction.
You're living on a yacht right now, so you have your own.
To annotate that Bible with my skill set. Now I've made it infinitely more value.
Add some value.
So I add some theological notes, some reference notes, stuff like that.
Right.
I could probably trade that.
For some clothes, maybe?
I was thinking that for a sick coat.
A sick leather coat.
No. Leather's pricey.
Okay.
Let's be realistic. I could trade it for a used coat.
Like a used Zara coat.
Yeah. Trade the coat for a nice pair of shoes. I bet you I could.
I think that's stepping down. I think shoes are cheaper than coats.
I think you'd be surprised.
Okay.
But anyways, okay, take it back. Trade it for a bike.
A coat for a bike, I still think it's turning down. Because I'm imagining like a sick coat.
Okay, lower the expectations on the coat. Imagine it's less valuable than a bike.
You know what? Yeah, I would go towards the bike because bike has utility. So you can get somebody who's really in need for a bike.
Yeah.
And trade something cool. You know, like I would trade a bike to one of those people that come to like work just for a season. Mm-hmm. And they from another country, like what are those called?
Seasonal workers.
Like a seasonal worker. They work for a season, you know? What are those ones called? So a seasonal worker for a bike.
Yeah.
And they bring back something sick from their home country.
Okay, so now we have a sick Mexican antique. Or like a vintage Mexican something.
Yeah.
And Jose has a great bike, which is win-win.
To get to work, yeah.
Yes. So we use that to trade. What am I trying to get to again?
I don't know. But
Oh, a PS5.
I think
I'm 10 days away from my PS5.
I think
but
if
we
you're
can stop
good,
there, but I'm just saying.
No, if you're good, you could do the jump from the antique to the PS5. Just get a mom or like an older mom with a son that's maybe a little too old to be living at home, and he did something to piss her off, and you're like, you know what? Yes, I'll trade you this sick ass Mexican antique for my son's PS5 to get him the fuck out of the house. We got a PS5 trailer. Here we go.
I think our 2024 marketing content is you doing
Just trying to get
and
a trailer.
seeing if you can market stuff to sell it for more.
I mean, you mean running a business?
You know what? If you really put your mind to it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be a cool video? Like, I marketed this paperclip in order to get.
Yeah, but it would take a long time.
Yeah, you have all year. It's only day 2. You're in luck. You have 363 days.
No.
I bet you we got a trailer to ring in the new year for 2025.
How about we don't stop working the business and I just buy you a fucking trailer?
Okay.
Was this just a ploy to walk me around to buying your trailer? Anyway, so
What are we doing here?
yeah, trailer by the water. We're set.
I agree. That's all I want.
How are we gonna kill all the rats?
We have a cat.
Cowboy.
Just like that step's done.
Mm-hmm. And he has all his paws
Yeah.
and fingernails.
Of course he has a
I meant like he has his fingernails. Like
I know,
we didn't extract
imagine
his.
it.
Just stumpy.
So sad. So sad.
It'd be very sad.
It's
Cowboy.
giving the sound of freedom.
Yeah. Like we had a bird.
That burned itself to death.
I mean, pretty close. So I don't know how and why my mom picked up somebody that was throwing away a bird. I don't know if you could do that. But you know, like they don't want it and they don't want to sell it. So they're just kind of like, bird or else.
That's one way to put it.
And so we got a bird, and then we didn't want a freaking bird. So my sister wanted the bird, but she lived in Timmins at this time, so you know she was far away. She's like, keep the bird. Whenever in a year when I see you guys again, I'll pick up the bird. And sometimes I felt bad keeping him in the cage, so I would just open up the cage, and he would. I think it was clipped, so couldn't like they can flap their wings, kind of like jump and kind of like hug it to another thing, but they can't fly and bang themselves around, right?
Right.
And we have a big ficus tree, so they would get in the tree and do this bird stuff. But one day after cooking, and the metal element, not the metal, like was it gas? No, it was the glass, like
The
the electric.
regular electric stove element.
Yeah, we were done, so it was red hot, and the thing, I guess red is his color. He flew right on it and burned his little feetsies, blisters and everything.
There's a 0% chance your mom wants people to know that story.
What? That a bird got hurt a little because
I heard a little he died. I mean, died.
Don't start rumors that aren't true. He didn't die. Like he is dead now.
Because the first time I heard this story, he died.
No, he's dead now, but not because of that reason. My
So
sister.
he recovered from his burns.
He recovered. My mom would rub cream on his little feet Vicks Vapor Rub every night, and he healed up. My sister picked him up. He moved to Timmins. He saw the world, and I think he just got sick, and he passed. Because
What was his name?
Taco.
No.
My sister's boyfriend at the time, named him Taco. But anyway, we will wrap it up because I think we got to the point. What was the point of this podcast? Places you'd live?
That was the middle bit for sure.
The economy?
Yeah, we covered a few interesting things.
Yeah. But I'll definitely live in a houseboat in Netherlands. Like maybe in like...
I'll visit you when I'm on vacation from the trailer.
What's that city where It's
Amsterdam?
like Amsterdam.
But I don't think they have houseboats like living in the water.
Oh yeah, they do.
Have you been there?
No, but I've seen videos.
Because I was there.
Were you?
4 years ago? 5 years ago?
Yeah. You were like well enough to.
Yeah, I got sick in Amsterdam, so I wasn't sick when I was there.
After you left.
I got sick in France after.
What do they? You were saying that you got so sick in Paris, and what did they give you? Like literally, like a poppy seed, like opium. What were they giving you?
To be determined. I don't know, but it was like in these little vials. You like crack the top off the vial.
And then you just
and drank it. I drank
like
it.
Tommy Shelby style, like.
Yes. Yeah.
I think you were drinking liquid opium.
I don't think it was opium, but it was something very like it was like it's like morphine or I don't know. It was I'm not using the right word, but it was like one of those.
Well, the one with a K.
There's a little more control. They didn't give me ketamine for an ear infection, but it was like something that's a little more controlled in Canada. I was shocked. They prescribed it to me and let me take it home. Not even home. To my hostel, where I was spitting blood, and everybody else in the hostel requested a new room.
Excuse me, this woman has the.
They thought I had consumption
style.
Yeah. Everybody else requested a new room.
The blood,
Yeah.
every scene, on a handkerchief, and shows it basically to the camera.
Good times. Just a little French getaway.
So if you're looking for to sell a trailer or trade a trailer from a paperclip to a trailer, we're in.
And if you have any clients who are interested in trading for an eventual trailer, we're definitely in. We're not closed off to houseboats. So also if you're in the houseboat business, it will take some convincing, but it's not off the table.
We got a couple NFTs to trade.
That is the truth.
Close it up. Something inspiring or insightful to close up the episode.
Something inspiring.
Something to get people going
I'm
in
thinking
2024.
about it. I'm trying to think about it. I want to
Start of the
critically.
year.
Give me 1 minute.
A lot of realtors quit in Canada. I think it was like 60,000 realtors in Canada in 2023 quit.
You think those ones are still watching the podcast?
Maybe not all 60,000 of them are walking amongst us, but something inspiring
I'm thinking.
to keep going.
Yeah.
The hardship of life.
Yeah. I would just say, take the year day by day, and don't be discouraged if it's not the year that has all kinds of big life moments. Because you'll be surprised that life is more made up of all the little small moments. And if you resent those small moment days, then they'll pass by and you'll just have a life of resentment. But if you cherish them, and you're not always just looking for the Instagrammable moment or the life-changing moment, then I think you'll really enjoy your year, no matter what comes.
Done.